Hello to your faces. Welcome back. This episode is another set of document and articles in relation to Jeffrey Epstein and the people he surrounded himself with. I find it fascinating that the only person in a prison cell is Ghislaine Maxwell, and I have a video coming up exposing that the person in prison is not Ghislaine Maxwell. We are going to expose everyone connected to Epstein and not let his co-conspirators disappear into the shadows. These documents read as follows. 2. John P. Woods, AIA, NCARE, redacted. From Daphne Wallace, sent Tuesday, May 23, 2017, 9 hours 0 minutes and 32 seconds p.m. Subject: Meeting reminder, May 23, 2017. Greetings, John. Just a reminder for the meeting with Mr. Epstein tomorrow, May 24, 2017, at 1 p.m. in the STC office. Have a wonder evening, Daphne. End of document. EFTA 022132000. So after doing some digging, pun intended, I found that John P. Woods is an employee for Geredian Design Group, one of the building contractors for St. James and Little St. James Islands in the Virgin Islands. This image shows businessman Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem alongside Jeffrey Epstein in front of a chalkboard. The photo is part of a collection released in relation to files concerning Epstein. Following the release of these files, bin Sulayem departed from his role at a major logistics company due to his links to Epstein. Dubai has named a new chairman for DP World, one of the world's largest logistics companies, replacing the outgoing head who was named in the Jeffrey Epstein documents. The announcement by the government's Dubai media office did not specifically name Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. However, it said that Essa Kazim was named DP World's chairman and Yuvraj Narayan was named group CEO. Those were positions held by Sulayem. New York Times columnist David Brooks appears in latest Epstein photos. This article is more than 2 months old. Brooks, who dismissed Epstein's scandal as, quote, stupid story, wrote column expressing lack of interest in developments. The New York Times columnist David Brooks appeared in multiple photos from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein that were released on Thursday by the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. The photos, which have been rolled out in batches by the minority Democrats in the committee, lack crucial context, including dates and locations. But the photos appear to show Brooks attending a lunch or dinner event. Brooks is shown seated next to Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google. In a statement, the New York Times said the event took place in 2011, 3 years after Epstein had pleaded guilty in Florida to charges of solicitation of prostitution with a minor under the age of 18. The Times said that Brooks, who did not respond to a separate request for comment, had no further contact with Epstein. As a journalist, David Brooks regularly attends events to speak with noted and important business leaders to inform his columns, which is exactly what happened at this 2011 event, a Times spokeswoman said. Mr. Brooks had no contact with him before or after this single attendance at a widely attended dinner. The timing of the release is notable. Last month, Brooks published a column in the Times saying that he was not interested in the long unfolding Epstein scandal. Why is Epstein the top issue in American life right now? Brooks wrote, well, in an age in which more and more people get their news from short videos, if you're in politics, the media, or online, it pays to focus on topics that are salacious, are easy to understand, and allow you to offer self-confident opinions with no actual knowledge. He also likened the fascination with the Epstein story to the QAnon conspiracy theory, arguing that Americans were irrationally convinced that a cabal of elites was scheming and doing horrible things behind the scenes. The photos released on Thursday raise questions about why Brooks did not disclose his attendance at an Epstein-attended event when writing about his lack of interest in the case. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with attending the same event as Jeffrey Epstein, the Business Insider journalist Jacob Shamsian wrote in a post on X. I just find it odd to not write about the topic when you're a journalist and he's the biggest story on the planet. Thursday's photo release also included images of Bill Gates, Woody Allen, and Noam Chomsky. In his The 21st of November column, Brooks also called out Democrats for hopping on this bandwagon and pushing for more transparency into Epstein's past associations. They may believe that the Epstein file release will somehow hurt Trump, he wrote, but they are undermining public trust and sowing public cynicism in ways that make the entire progressive project impossible. They are contributing to a public atmosphere in which right-wing populism naturally thrives. Brooks was also heavily dismissive of the Epstein story in a July appearance on the PBS NewsHour. Every August, Washington goes crazy with some stupid story. And then in September we think, what was that all about? He said. And so this year we're a little early. Bill Gates admits having affairs with 2 Russian women as billionaire apologizes for Epstein ties. The Microsoft founder described his meetings with the late pedophile as a, quote, huge mistake. Bill Gates has reportedly admitted to having affairs with 2 Russian women amidst his apology for his ties to the late pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Gates apologized to the staff of the Gates Foundation about his connection to Epstein in a town hall on Tuesday, but insisted he was not involved in the sex offender's crimes, according to the Wall Street Journal. "I did nothing illicit. I saw nothing illicit," he said, according to the U.S. newspaper. He said that the photos depicting him in the recently published Epstein files show women with redacted faces were of Epstein's assistants after their meetings, it reported. The Microsoft founder went on to open up about his personal life. U.S. Justice Epstein. Bill Gates said the redacted photos are of Epstein's assistants after meetings. House Oversight Democrats /AFP-VI. "I did have affairs," he reportedly said. "One with a Russian bridge player who met me at bridge events, and one with a Russian nuclear physicist who I met through business activities." Recommended. Harry Styles admits fame left him feeling quote, isolated and questioning his purpose. Harry Styles admits fame left him feeling and questioning his purpose. Arsenal player ratings, Gabriella Monster and Hincapie sensational. Arsenal player ratings, Gabriella Monster and Hincapie sensational. Chancellor Blue chants to end energy profits levy, say opposition parties. Chancellor Blue chants to end energy profits levy, say opposition parties. Bullying Kay Adams is axed from her £155,000 a year BBC radio show. Bullying Kay Adams is axed from her £155,000 a year BBC radio show. In 2023, the Wall Street Journal reported that Epstein used his knowledge of these affairs to threaten Gates. Gates said he started meeting with Epstein from 2011, several years after 2008, when Epstein had pleaded guilty to soliciting a minor for prostitution. He said he was conscious of some 18-month thing that restricted Epstein's travel, but admitted he didn't properly check his background, the WSJ reported. New Epstein images released by House Oversight Committee Democrats. Gates started meeting with Epstein years after he had pleaded guilty for sex crimes via Reuters. He went on to confess that he continued meeting with Epstein even after his ex-wife, Melinda French Gates, showed concern in 2013. "Knowing what I know now makes it, 100 times worse in terms of not only his crimes in the past, but now it's clear there was ongoing bad behavior," Gates reportedly told staff. Speaking of his ex-wife, he is said to have added, "To give her credit, she was always kind of skeptical about the Epstein thing." He told his staff that he continued meeting with Epstein through 2014, traveled on a private plane, and spent time with him in Germany, France, New York, and Washington. Bill and Melinda Gates divorced in 2021. PA Wire. He maintained he, quote, never stayed overnight or visited Epstein's island. "To be clear, I never spent any time with victims, the women around him," Gates said. He went on to say, "It was a huge mistake to spend time with Epstein and bring executives of his foundation into meetings with the disgraced billionaire. I apologize to other people who are drawn into this because of the mistake that I made," he said. A spokesperson for the Gates Foundation said, "This was a scheduled town hall with employees, which Bill does twice a year." In the conversation, Bill answered questions submitted by Foundation staff on a range of issues, including the release of the Epstein files, the Foundation's work in AI, and the future of global health. In the town hall, Bill spoke candidly, addressing several questions in detail, and took responsibility for his actions. End of article. If you have enjoyed this video and the time it takes me, review these documents, and then bring them to you, then please like this video, share it, and leave your comments in the comments section. Please share this so as many people as possible can hear these messages, and hopefully these victims can finally be heard and know we care about them and wish them the very best in life. See you next time. Stay safe, stay alert, and stay suspicious.